If you were asked who the richest person in history was, who would you think of? Maybe names like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos come to mind. But what if I told you that there was a king in the 14th century whose wealth might have surpassed anyone in history? Meet Mansa Musa, the king of Mali. His fortune was so massive that he became a legend, and his story is one of the most fascinating tales of wealth and power. Today, we're going to explore how Mansa Musa amassed his incredible fortune and how his legacy continues to influence the world today. The early years of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was born around 1280 in the Mali Empire, one of the most powerful and wealthy empires in West Africa. He wasn't born with a silver spoon, but his family was already very well off. His father, the previous ruler of Mali, was a man of wealth and influence. However, Mansa Musa wasn't automatically heir to the throne. He wasn't the firstborn son, and the throne was initially meant for his older brother. But things didn't go as planned. When Mansa Musa was still young, he received a strong education, particularly in the fields of Islam, law, and administration. What would it have been like growing up in an empire that was at the peak of wealth and culture? Mansa Musa's education prepared him for the throne, but he didn't take the easy road. In 1312, when his older brother proved ineffective as a leader, Mansa Musa seized the opportunity. He staged a successful coup and declared himself the ruler of Mali. His ability to rise above his circumstances with intelligence and charisma set him on a path to greatness. Imagine the challenges he faced during this time: rival factions, unstable leadership, and the responsibility of ruling a vast and diverse empire. Mansa Musa didn't just rise to power, he used his position to strengthen the empire and extend its reach. The growth of the Mali Empire. Once Mansa Musa took control, he wasted no time in expanding his empire. But how did he manage to turn Mali into one of the wealthiest and most powerful empires in history? It was all about control, and Mansa Musa knew how to wield his power. Mali's vast resources, particularly gold and salt, gave it an edge over many of its rivals. Under Mansa Musa's rule, the Mali Empire expanded its territory dramatically. He strategically captured cities like Timbuktu and Gao, which were vital trade centers between the Mediterranean and West Africa. Why were these cities so important? They were key locations along the gold and salt trade routes, and controlling them meant controlling the flow of riches into Mali. Mansa Musa also strengthened the empire's economy by developing strong trade relationships with neighboring kingdoms. He knew the importance of trade, not just for gold and salt, but for wealth and prosperity. What do you think made Mansa Musa so savvy when it came to business and trade? It wasn't just luck. It was his foresight and wisdom that allowed him to secure Mali's position as a global economic powerhouse. Mansa Musa's legendary pilgrimage. Perhaps the most iconic event in Mansa Musa's reign was his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. Why did he go on such an extravagant journey? For Mansa Musa, this was not just a pilgrimage, it was a statement. He was a devout Muslim, and as part of his religious duties, he had to travel to Mecca, the holiest city in Islam. But what made this pilgrimage different from others? Mansa Musa didn't travel alone. He brought along an entourage that stretched as far as the eye could see. This journey was no ordinary pilgrimage. It wasn't just about faith, it was about showing the world the incredible wealth of the Mali Empire. Mansa Musa's caravan included thousands of soldiers, civilians, and slaves with camels carrying bags of gold. It was reported that Mansa Musa distributed so much gold along the way that it caused inflation in the regions he passed through. Imagine being so wealthy that your generosity disrupts the economy. His journey was one of the largest and most spectacular the world had ever seen. What do you think the other kingdoms thought when they saw Mansa Musa and his caravan? He wasn't just a king, he was a walking symbol of wealth and power. His spending wasn't just for show, he used it strategically to make sure that the world knew about the glory of Mali. His influence stretched across the Islamic world, and his name became synonymous with unimaginable wealth. The impact of Mansa Musa's wealth. After Mansa Musa's pilgrimage, his reputation as the wealthiest man in the world spread far and wide. How did his wealth influence the regions he passed through? Mansa Musa's travels were so legendary that the 1375 Catalan Atlas, one of the most important maps of medieval Europe, featured a picture of Mansa Musa holding a gold nugget and a scepter. For the first time, Mali and Mansa Musa himself were seen on the world map as symbols of wealth and power. But Mansa Musa didn't just use his wealth for personal gain. He used it to improve the lives of his people and promote Islam. What kind of legacy do you think Mansa Musa left behind in Mali? When he returned from Mecca, he used his wealth to build schools, mosques, and libraries. He was deeply interested in developing Timbuktu as a center of learning, and he succeeded. Under his rule, the Mali Empire became not only a powerful military force, but also a cultural and intellectual hub. Mansa Musa's impact wasn't limited to just the physical buildings he constructed. He also attracted scholars, scientists, and artists to Mali, making the empire a beacon of Islamic scholarship. Timbuktu, under Mansa Musa's reign, became one of the world's leading centers for learning and knowledge. Mansa Musa's generosity and vision. Mansa Musa didn't just sit on his piles of gold. He used his wealth to improve the lives of his people and spread the teachings of Islam. How many rulers do you know who built universities, mosques, and libraries with their own wealth? Mansa Musa's commitment to education and religion set him apart from other kings. He built the Jinguaraber Mosque in Timbuktu and supported a major university that became a center of Islamic scholarship. But Mansa Musa's generosity went beyond just building mosques. He was a patron of scholars and religious leaders. How do you think his investment in education and religion helped shape the future of his empire? His contributions helped make Mali a beacon of Islamic culture, and his name became synonymous with generosity and wisdom. Even after his death, his empire remained a powerful force in West Africa, shaping the region for generations. The legacy of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa's reign ended in 1337, but his legacy lived on long after his death. What makes Mansa Musa's legacy so special? His wealth and generosity transformed the Mali Empire into one of the greatest civilizations in history. Though the empire eventually declined, Mansa Musa's influence continued to inspire leaders, scholars, and explorers. Mansa Musa's wealth and vision are still remembered today. His pilgrimage to Mecca, his contributions to education, and his role in spreading Islam across West Africa have left a lasting impact. Why do you think Mansa Musa is still considered one of the wealthiest and most influential leaders in history? His story serves as a reminder that true wealth isn't just about money. It's about using your resources to better the lives of others. The lasting influence of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa's story continues to captivate people all over the world. From his incredible wealth to his contributions to Islamic culture, Mansa Musa's legacy is far-reaching. Even in today's world, his name is still associated with great leadership, generosity, and ambition. What can we learn from Mansa Musa's life? His reign reminds us of the importance of using power and wealth wisely, and the value of leaving a legacy that will endure for centuries. Mansa Musa's influence isn't just a story from the past, it's a legacy that continues to inspire people worldwide. Do you think anyone today could amass wealth like Mansa Musa? His life shows us that the true measure of wealth is not just in gold, but in how we use our resources to impact the world around us. If you enjoyed learning about the richest man in history, Mansa Musa, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more captivating stories about history, wealth, and leadership.